Hi, Kia listeners. Let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back if you join me again. You can join me on X or Instagram at Let's Learn Sumo. Even on YouTube, where this is restreamed in audio, occasionally a video episode. More to come. You can drop me a message or a comment on any of those platforms and I'll respond, answer any questions. If you like my content, you can donate to my Kimboshi fund, help pay for a few of the subscriptions that keep the channel going. The Buy Me a Coffee link is in the comments, or you can just enjoy the podcast. So let's look at day 10 of the November Grand Sumo Tournament from the southern island of Kyushu. If you make it down there, it is a wonderful place. The race is now opened up wide. Yokozuna Onosato faced former Kusano, now Yoshino Fuji on day 10. It was a pretty good touchy eye. Yoshino Fuji got an inside body grip, lowered his head and drove a retreating Onosato back. He goes over the bales and up the Hanamichi alley. Not much defence, and Onosato just missed that touchy eye fairly comprehensively. 9-1 on day 10 for Onosato. Yoshino Fuji moves to 7-3 with his first Kimboshi Gold Star win over the Yokozuna. Point of interest, Yoshino Fuji, previously as Kusano, I saw a video the other day of him beating Onosato in almost the same manner in one of the lower division fights a little while ago. Funny how history repeats. Anyway, Hoshoryu on day 10, he faced Oshoma, fairly comprehensively beat him. Shitatanage, underarm belt throw. Good touchy eye, Hoshoryu got a left inside, right outside. He drove his right hand in for a double inside grip, then struggled and pulled Oshoma down and to the right. Powerful grip throw, Yokozuna power there. 8-2, one behind Onosato. Nishiki, he faced Tamawashi. Tamawashi does a half-hearted move to the left, not really a hanker. Nishiki drove his head in and gets a belt to drive Tamawashi back and over. 9-1, Nishiki. Kodazakura, he dealt with Oho reasonably easily. Oshidashi push out there. Toki Hayate in Megashira 14. He had a chance to catch up one more, but lost to Chiyoshima on day 10. Pretty effective Noto neck thrust by Chiyoshima. Had Toki Hayate going backwards and over the bales. 7-3 for Toki Hayate on day 10, but he's not out of it. Nishiki Fuji, who's returning from Juryo, little stint there. He's still in it. He got a win over the returning Meisei. Meisei's been out at Kyushu with a back surgery issue from just after the September tournament. But Nishiki Fuji easily forced Meisei out Yorikiri. That got Nishiki Fuji to 7 wins on day 10. Kirishima faced Takayasu the Bear on day 10. That was quite the battle. It's pretty good touchy eye. Takayasu slapped, then started thrusting at Kirishima. He forced Kirishima to the bales. Kirishima defended and Oshi pushed a big thrust to force Takayasu back. He Oshi'd at Taka, who he got a bit of a deflecting, kind of an arm pull deflection, which turned Takayasu. Kirishima then drove in hard. Takayasu was off balance. And as Kirishima hit Takayasu, Takayasu went down on one knee. They called it a Tsukihisa, an unintentional knee touch. Well, it was forced by the big drive by Kirishima. Ura, he pulled a typical Ura move. The books will show a Tsukinage body beltless throw over Takanosho, but the way he set it up with a hand up around the shoulder and the manner of the low pull down Ura executed was truly only ever done by Ura. So that was day 10, 5 wins for Ura. Midori Fuji got his week going a little bit better. He had a win against Ryuden. He has beaten Ryuden by Karasakashi about 4 times the previous meetings. One was called a Tsukiyatoshi thrust down, but I remember the fight. It looked all the way for a Karasakashi to me. Tonight, it was not much different. Midori Fuji got up under Ryuden's shoulder. He tried for the Karasakashi as they went over the bales. Ryuden's foot converted over and dragged the top of his foot as Midori goes over the bales, touched his heels. Look, I thought Midori Fuji had that for the first fight. They did call a mono E. The judges, the Shimpans, they decided that needed to be done again at Toranayoshi rematch. So they had a second go. Midori Fuji goes straight up under the shoulder for Ryuden. As Ryuden went for the belt, he tried to lock Midori up, but Midori Fuji just started dragging Ryuden around, and as he treats, he used that shoulder leverage to drag him down as Ryuden touched down forward. Karasukashi 5 wins for day 10 for Midori Fuji, that was. So day 11, Ayan Nishiki was up against Yoshino Fuji, former Kusano, fresh from his Kimboshi win the night before Yoshino Fuji. Ayan Nishiki on 9 wins, looking to catch or even overtake the Yokozuna. Yoshino Fuji, he drives up hard at the tachiai, hits Ayan Nishiki with a double-handed, pretty much face hit. He just keeps the Oshi and Supari thrusting up as Ayan Nishiki just couldn't get any belt grip, and he's going backwards, keeps the Oshi hits going. Ayan Nishiki had another go at the belt, and then he's up on the bales and over and out. Power drive for the win by Yoshino Fuji. That win was reminiscent of the way that Onosato beat Ayan Nishiki. A power drive, it seems to be the way to do it consistently to beat Ayan Nishiki. Ayan Nishiki is stuck on 9 wins for his second loss. Yoshino Fuji 8-3 and in the chasing pack. Hoshoryu Yokozuna, he faced Sekiwake Oho, both related to Yokozunas. Hoshoryu, the nephew of a Yokozuna. Oho, the grandson of a Yokozuna. True sumo royalty. Hoshoryu got a left underarm body grip off the tachiai, used it to drive Oho back to the bales, pushed him down at the edge. Look, there was a pretty forceful Yokozuna sumo there. Very confident. Hoshoryu moves to 9 wins and equal with Ayan Nishiki with that win. Yokozuna Onosato, however, faced Komusubi Takanosho. Now, they haven't met for a year, and the last time Takanosho nodded Onosato, forcing him into a retreat and a pull as Takanosho chased him out of the ring. Tonight, Takanosho got a nasty nodowa on Onosato off the tachiai. Onosato drove forward under pressure, his face getting mushed, but his feet gave out from under him and he couldn't push Takanosho back. Onosato goes down forward and eats a bit of dirt. He gets delayed getting back up because he knows it was a bad loss. Hiki Itoshi pull down for Takanosho was the Kimarite, his 4th win. Onosato is stuck on 9 wins, 2 losses in a row. We have a 3-way tie for the lead on day 11. The other chasers are Toki Hayate, who faced Gonayama tonight. Hard tachiai by Gonayama. He is a hard charger. Gonayama drives Toki Hayate, who dodged. Gonayama almost goes over. Toki Hayate tried to take advantage, but Gonayama recovered. Gonayama got another charge. Toki Hayate moved on the bales, and as Gonayama is sitting on the edge, Toki Hayate gets behind. Must have got a hand on the belt at the last moment. He pushed Gonayama from behind. I would have called it an Okuri Tayoshi, a rear push down, but they gave it an Iwata Dashinage open belt throw. That means he got a hand on the belt. Must have been very briefly. Toki Hayate moves into that chasing pack, 8 wins. Nishiki Fuji's good week continued. He faced Fujinokawa. Fujinokawa goes in hard, got a double inside body grip, but Nishiki Fuji reached over the back for a belt, used his bigger weight over Fujinokawa and drove him to the bales and wrestled him over. Oshidashi for his 8th win, and Kachikoshi to cement his place in the pack, and Makuchi for January. So some of the other fights on day 11. Kodazakura, he got a Hiki Itoshi pull down on Oshoma, fairly easy there. 6 wins for Kodazakura, 2 more to stave off a Karaban status for the Ozeki. Takayasu and Ura met tonight. Ura went in low, got an almost double inside body grip. Takayasu goes back as Ura keeps driving and pushes Takayasu back over the bales. They went off into the crowd. Takayasu took out 3 rows of the audience. Ura gets a Watashikomi thigh-grabbing push-down win. He must have got a hand on the inside as they were flying over the bales. Takayasu is stuck on 5 wins. Ura 6-5, 2 more for his Kachikoshi. Wakamoto Haru made Hakuoho's defense look pretty ordinary tonight. Wakamoto Haru got his favored inside-outside belt grip and just drove Hakuoho back. That's Makikoshi for Hakuoho at Megashira 1. He'll be dropping down a few places, 3 and 8 for him. Wakamoto Haru doing okay, 6 wins, couple more to get his Kachikoshi. Wakataka Kage he did face Hiradumi, and then he didn't face Hiradumi because it was a big henker. Hiradumi went to the left. It wasn't like a full avoidance. He did hit Wakataka Kage in the shoulder, but he was fairly well off to the side. Wakataka Kage got pulled down. That's 3 wins for Hiradumi, who's already Makikoshi. 5 wins for Wakataka Kage, and 4 days to get 3 more wins for him. Kirishima easily outclassed Shodai tonight. Slight pull to get Shodai off balance and a Tsukidashi thrust out win there. Kirishima, he's 1 win away from Kachikoshi in Megashira 2 position. Excellent win for Atami Fuji tonight over Tamawashi. There was a really good persistent chase there. Atami Fuji went low and drove Tamawashi to the bales. Tamawashi defended with some oshi pushing. He went in hard as Atami Fuji locked up Tamawashi's arms, a little bit Kimadashi style, where he pulls them into himself. Tamawashi pulled him around to the bales, and Atami Fuji was in deep trouble. He's really under pressure, defending on the bales, but Atami Fuji just kept moving, kept going around, kept driving. He got Tamawashi off balance on one leg, drove him back and across. It was a really good Yorikiri win for Atami Fuji there. 7 wins for Atomic Atami, who remembered he's a big boy tonight. Ichi Yamamoto made Kota Shohei look a bit pedestrian, our former Yusho winner, as he opened the door for him and let him past. Midori Fuji, he got another win over Shononumi tonight with Kata Sakashi, and that Kata Sakashi over Shononumi, it was telegraphed from last week. 6 wins for Midori Fuji. Daisho just looked ordinary. He lost Tsukiyatoshi thrust down to Tsurunumi. It was a bit of a hit and shift for Tsurunumi to win that one. Shishi tried to rip Asakoryu's arm off. Asakoryu got on the belt and Shishi locked his hand against his body and tried to pretty much throw Asakoryu with the arm on the belt. Lucky he didn't lose a hand in the battle, but Asakoryu went over the bales. Oshi Tayoshi frontal pushdown, and that was day 10 and 11. 4 days left. It is anyone's Yusho at this point. Hoshoryu, he has a better head-to-head record against Onosato and probably Ayanishiki at this point. So, look, if it's a 3-way, you would give it probably to Hoshoryu at this stage, but it is fully open wide. Hoshoryu, he faces Takayasu on day 12. Onosato has Sekiwake Oho, who's not looking good. Ayanishiki should take an easy win over Oshoma tomorrow night. Toki Hayate has a hard match against Atami Fuji. And Nishiki Fuji is facing Ichi Yamamoto, so that's getting interesting. So join me again, folks. We'll have a look where this is going. Hakioi, let's learn sumo.